the butterfly effect. We're on episode number 2. This one is about the love languages. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna see what everybody's working with or not working with. Just discussing some things that may relate to you out there. Try to help each other, and in the process, help somebody else. So let's get into it. What we doing?
All right, so last season I can say that the majority of our talks was based off of communication, right? So I have discovered that you have to kind of deal with people, on their level, because when you're trying to communicate or you think you're communicating, if that's not their language, it's just going right over their head, so you really have to take the time out to learn, even if you don't have a significant other. I mean, it's a family. Everybody has a way that they communicate that best suits them for them to be able to, give that type of feedback, that, you can be able to kind of excel in a relationship. So we are having a love language series, and this is kind of like the prequel to it. A lot of people don't even know what their language is. I didn't until maybe about 5 years ago when I read the book. I took the quiz and all that kind of stuff, but I kind of already knew what mine was, and it's acts of service. So I don't have to tell you to take out the trash, do stuff. If I'm doing my part, just do yours, But a lot of people, based off of their past experience and stuff, it kind of determines, what love language, they have. So just kind of going around the room, I don't know if people, have already taken a quiz or not, or that you might know, how it is that you communicate, but, just kind of share the different types, I guess besides acts of service. I don't know if anybody else is acts of service.
Quality time.
Yours is quality time? Okay, so with that, some people, they might want to give you gifts, and you like, what is this? I just need you to be here,
right.
So if you can just kind of elaborate, like maybe on some past relationships that you've gotten it and then you haven't gotten it, like how was the communication with that?
I just recently took the test myself about 4 months ago.
Okay.
And I didn't believe it was a real thing. So basically, what I was expecting out of my past relationship was quality time, because that was my love language. And I didn't get that.
Right.
So I didn't feel loved.
Right.
So now going forward, do you think that you're gonna kind of like tell that person like up front, like, hey, this is kind of what my expectation is, or you're gonna still?
I think it's important to have a conversation with each other to figure out what your love language is, because it also can change, as I understand, over time as you heal. So it doesn't always stay the same. So my next relationship, I may not
need those.
That's
because if you've grown out of that, or you.
Not necessarily wrong though. You may just be in a transition to, basically who you with at that particular time, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that it changes.
I think mine changed. It started with acts of service, and then it went to affection, like just
it's based off of numbers, like a percentage. Like the second one, I believe, was affection. I believe.
It also depends on where you are in your life.
That's what I was saying.
Time,
not necessarily growth, but I think that may also have something to do with like who you're with at that time. Because you got to think. Let's just say, like for me personally, let's just say I may want to be cuddled or whatever. Then at the same time, I might need something else. You know what I mean? But my past relationship, I didn't need that because maybe I was just so dominant. Like my husband now is different, but before, I'm just so dominant and I'm this and I don't need this. And you just change. Not necessarily mature or not, you just change based upon, I would think, who you with maybe. I don't know.
You like cuddling. The man over cuddle. He don't ever like you. He don't ever give me nothing, but I hug on you, yo. Man, keep it on.
Right. So I mean, I don't know.
I think you have a
Foundation
foundation
important to be a
Yeah.
relationship where a person, where the two people are studying each other.
That's
It
what I
can
think.
give what
no
it is
two
can
people
give
are
it
the
too.
same though, so of course it will be a different thing because they might be giving more in one area and they're already meeting that need.
Yeah, because let's just ask you, like you say, yours is acts of service, right? So is mine. In some instances, like okay, I shouldn't have to tell you to. Like for me, instance, I hate pumping.
Okay.
Gas.
Oh, I think that's the most.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right. So to me,
Necessary. Was that the word you was looking for?
It didn't used to be back in the day, so it's not.
I'm just saying, I just feel like, like I shouldn't have to make sure gas is in the cars. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I should just get in and go. But, right. But, but don't get me wrong, these are things that I don't have issues with in this relationship. You see what I'm saying? But who's to say that, well, I don't want to be sticking my foot in my mouth because that's not the case. But who's to say, okay, if it was somebody else and that was a situation, but then they went to the next relationship and the person don't do that, so now they need that. You see what I'm saying? So you say you are an active service.
I'm gonna always be active service.
That's your foundational one. That's what I think.
You just,
Foundation.
what have you done for me lately?
But acts of service is
So
also
it's
an
not
act of
in your life
service.
and automatically
And
serve
then all these
Guess
things.
what?
it would be something else.
No, it wouldn't, because I'm gonna appreciate that man for whoever. If he active servicing me,
And no
thank you.
Act of service.
And
has-
nothing
But
else.
it also
Wait,
goes
let's qualify though.
Nothing
Acts of
else.
service. What's an
right.
act of
That's what I was
service?
gonna say because it depends
Okay,
on.
so I have a lot of stuff going on, right? I don't care how small it is. If you relieving my stress in any
Washing
kind of
the
way,
clothes, folding the
that's
clothes.
not even necessarily that. That's like, I don't know. I travel a lot. That's just making sure my car is checked up on. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
Just,
so,
stuff like that.
Right.
You know,
It's
it's
different
minor
for people.
stuff.
Okay, so
The acts of
actually-
service are different for people.
Okay, so as us women, because I know I'm very domesticated. It may not seem like, but I'm very domesticated. Like I believe
You
in
said,
like,
what are you wearing?
oh, you asked what I was wearing? Okay.
Just gonna interrupt the
I'm wearing-
whole thought process. Go ahead.
I'm wearing custom jewelry concierge.
Okay.
Roberts.
Yeah,
But anyway, so
domestication.
us as women though, seriously though, us as women, like again, I'm very domesticated, so I believe in like catering to my
Yeah,
husband. Like I
absolutely.
believe in like literally like it's.
So, I'm glad you're saying
Some
that.
people say
Do
it's so
tell me,
crazy,
lady.
but literally I would do anything for him. Like
But see, I'm
so
glad you're
that's
saying
too
that.
much.
Yes.
or what?
So here's my
Glad you
thought.
came live over there because I forgot.
know.
That man was
What
listening.
he's saying.
Well, this is the thing. You can't listen and talk at the same time.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so let's
Just hold on, just so y'all know, there's a group of men behind.
we here.
Wait.
Okay, listen. No, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what you're not.
I know what I need. You know what I'm saying? I know what for real. Can I tell you this fundamental truth that I've discovered? I've discovered that most people love people out of their need and not that other person.
Exactly.
That's why
So that's a very fundamental thing, and I'm gonna be honest with you. Most people don't even know themselves. Let's just cut to the chase. Most people don't know what they want. They don't know where they are. They don't know exactly what's really happening.
Right.
Communication is far in between because someone could say that just because I'm talking, the assumption is that I'm communicating,
Right.
and you may not be communicating, which what actually deals with not just words, but it actually deals with intent. So what exactly are you saying? What do you mean by what you're saying? Where you're trying to go with what you're saying?
good, right.
Where are you headed? What's happening? Not being afraid to say this hurts.
Right.
Not being to say this made me angry.
Right.
Not being afraid to say this made me mad. I don't like when you do that.
Yeah.
I like when you do this. Thank you for doing that. That's communication.
But see, I'm sensitive. Cause see, I'll be like you get too old. You just do it.
Me too.
But so then that aspect of it is now what comes
You know what I
into
mean?
my first highest level of love language is it will be words of affirmation.
Right.
The reason why that's my height for me for two reasons. One is birthed out of things I went through in my childhood. Number two, it is because I am a communicator. So because my lifeline is always communicating with people, when I finish, once you pour out, my desire and need lot of times is those same things. And so what people don't realize is that sometimes, because this is let's say that in your instance, because you're doing this from your heart, you're very domesticated, you're serving, you're cleaning, you're preparing the meal, you're doing it from your heart, but you never talk to that man. And if he's a communicator, thank you for fixing my plate, but you don't know how I'm doing.
Right.
That's vital.
Yeah.
That's vitality. And so when it comes to how I move and live in my life, I have to know exactly where I'm at. And so one thing that I think, and I say this all the time, what's not defined cannot be determined. So we have to really figure it out exactly where we are and what do you mean by that and how do you feel about that. Right. Bro, what you think about that? What's your...
I just want to take up an offering right
now.
No,
man!
It's over.
No, stop, it's man. Over. No, I'm serious. It's stop, bro.
No, I'm saying that not because I say he was preaching, but because everything you said was on point. Those are just facts. Like, those are things, base is, you don't know you.
Yeah.
So you can't relate to me because you don't know you. I can say everything that I need for you to do. But if you don't know you, you're acting out of yourself all the time.
That's so good.
All the time. So what he just said is the truth. But a lot of times that falls on deaf ears because people always believe, well, I do know myself. I know this, I know.
You know what you like.
I can't tell you nothing either.
Yeah.
I can't tell you nothing either. So now we have another problem, which stems from the first problem.
Yes.
You don't know yourself.
Yes.
You don't know that you don't know everything.
Yeah.
You don't know that you don't
You don't know that you don't know everything. That's an unknown.
So is it safe to say that
really
No, I'm so grateful for this guy.
guy.
You know what? So is it safe to say that we do not approach relationships with humility?
Humility. That's it.
So we proud.
Humility. And I just had to tell somebody this. People get humility so wrong. I said something the other day, and sorry, Mom. I said something the other day. My mom was like, "All right, now she hit me with a Bible verse. I love it so much. You should. You gotta not think more highly of yourself than you ought." I said, "Mom,
Glasses, y'all.
Right.
your sorry glasses." Listen, God put all this here.
Exactly.
I recognize that my Creator put everything in me. When I say to you, I'm good at this, that's humility.
That is
because
humility.
I am being everything I am without adding to it and without taking away from it.
That's real.
Not only that, I
That's
say that
humility.
too, with humility, and people think humility means humble and people can walk all over you and all that stuff. That's not what it means. Like I tell people all the time, not even bragging. Like I think that I'm nice looking. I think other people think I look better than I think that I look. But I always say my confidence comes from the Most High God. The same one that created the waterfalls and the mountains and the trees and rivers that people love to look at created me. So my confidence, that's where it comes from.
That's real.
It's humility.
That's real.
So to your actual question, if you approach every situation with humility, I'm going to be all of me, but I'm not going to be something I'm not.
Yeah.
But in order to do that, I would have to know what I'm not. Yeah.
That's good stuff.
But that takes a whole lot of
Self-search.
And asking real questions.
To yourself.
And asking real questions. And, to be honest with you, I'm nice to everybody, but I'm no fool. And so I understand that we're living in a society that truth is obsolete, but honesty is so rare. So most of the time, people bring their representative. They're not who they really are. They're who they want to be and not what's really going on.
People pleasers.
And what ends up happening, that's real. And what ends up happening is that most people are being introduced to an image. This is why you need time so you can meet the character. So that you don't make sure that you're actually finding yourself committing yourself to something for the rest of your life that can be detrimental for your life. We don't take our life seriously enough. And it's not so much that you being deep or serious, but I feel like especially among our age group, we have a generation that we're having to kind of raise and develop and pour into. And what we don't want to give them is the dysfunctions from our family. We don't want to give them that. And so
curses.
it's real, man. And so it is by tracing things within ourselves and really being honest about the mistakes we made, making that true transformation, having a group such as this that says that it's cool to just talk about whatever it is that's going on in your life and say, hey man, don't beat yourself up, but I'm going to push you to be better. And I think that's what's important.
And not only that, like people talk about love language, you have a core personality. Like some people are servers as a personality. Like I don't know what it's called, but I'm the type of person that's like black and white. Like I'm learning to see gray, but normally I'm black and white. Like it's yes or it's no. It's no in between. But some people need that in between. You know, and I'm learning how to give that in between.
That's good.
So it's core personality.
Let me help your life, sister. Let me help your life. I'm gonna tell you, listen, I've dealt with that, like I understand. There are few absolutes in life. That's your black and your white. Most of life is lived in the gray.
It's gray.
And the part about the gray is that being able to accept other people's gray.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
If you can accept your gray, you should be able to accept somebody else's
that's
gray.
the thing. I felt like I had no gray. It's black and white. It's right or wrong.
But
There's no in
that's
between.
perspective of yours.
It is.
And you just have to you have to have an understanding. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the understanding can change your perspective on things. You know what I mean?
That's what
So
they
just know, you know, most of life is the gray part. You know, you can have some absolutes. I'm definitely not doing that. You know,
Right.
or I'm a little open to that.
I'll try it.
That's good stuff.
But I mean, you know, toward the love languages, I have the same one as him.
Wow.
Like your words,
lot of me.
watch what you
That's
say
a
to
man.
me.
I
Talk to me nice. Talk to me
Yeah,
nice.
it can change the whole. First of all,
Yes.
yeah. Oh, hello.
Nah.
Hey, what? You directed at me?
No, you
See that? You got them old people saying he stopped on her.
Everybody else
I ain't
is
talking.
we are hosting a show together. It's not about you. Okay? Goodness.
But he was.
See that? Look at see me stirring up. See it's so aggravated, man.
Anybody out there getting hot? I'm just saying.
She is so
Like I'm in the
aggravated. Like,
But I mean, he was talking to everybody and you spoke up.
Well, he pointed, so you know what I'm saying.
but it's that tone texture, that it's the way you say what you're saying
Right.
to anyone, and I one slight tone can be like, hello.
I can say me personally, I have a problem with that.
Okay.
I
Give me an example.
She look like she be yelling at people.
no, I don't.
Yeah, you look
How do you
like.
look like a yeller? What do you look like? What do yeller look like?
No, I
What
Okay.
does a yeller look like?
Explain it, dog. Explain it,
You
bro.
want me to profile?
Come on, profile, bro. Come on.
Look, is this gray or black or white? I'm
Bro,
just
it's these glasses that be.
It's the adjustment.
oh, okay. It's just a little gray. Okay, okay.
But
Man, I'm
I'm just saying-
crying.
No, I mean, there's no real, like, you know, profile of a person who's. I'm just messing with her, but sometimes, you know,
They gotta look.
people that are soft, that means they come off like intense sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to know the ebb and flow of people. Like
Yeah.
my mom is soft, but I know my mama can rip your head off with a word
Yeah.
if she needed to.
Yeah.
So having dealt with certain personality types, you just know them when you see them.
So what you trying to say?
That you're probably one of the sweetest people that anybody ever could meet, but if
there
somebody
you go.
press your
Cross
buttons,
her.
their head might leave with you.
Yeah, to a certain
See?
to a
Exactly.
certain
Do you see how she
I'm
nodded her head?
I'm not a big cusser.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like, and I'm not very loud.
Yeah.
See, those that don't
And like my
curse
husband
hurt
said all
you
the
worse.
time, yeah, they say, oh, you
ain't
know
got
what,
nothing to do
you
with that.
love to kill people with your words. You think you better than everybody because you know, I just don't. You know,
Yeah.
I just learned slang basically like
I
a
feel
few
you.
years ago, so I really think I'm doing something
Hit
because
you
of
with a
that.
dictionary.
Yeah, because she don't do
Yeah,
Yanni, what
she
you
don't
do?
do urban.
Yanni, you say
Yes,
it in
sir.
the right tone, or you kind of one of them?
She'll give you that look.
I'm a starer.
Okay.
I'm a looking.
So is it
Yeah,
like?
she really is.
Is it like take out the trash?
It is not.
it's
but
not like-
you got it's a
Like-
look.
But
But you
I
guys
try to get to the point.
with the eyes and
Oh.
maybe it'll cut you worse than the words. But we just want to say this is a great conversation and we shall pick it up. But we want to thank you guys for joining in to episode 2 of the Butterfly Effect, and we're looking forward to seeing you again.